Let's start with the Devers trade. I can only imagine your face and your reaction when you saw this last night. So weigh it for us. Grade the trade.
Well, I don't know how a team can trade their star players literally time after time and get nothing back for them. I want you to now think about the Mookie Betts trade, the Chris Sale trade, and now the Rafael Devers trade. And so far, the best players they've gotten back for all three were what? Alex Verdugo and Connor Wong and maybe James Tibbs someday in this trade? Like, it's almost unbelievable. If you're going to trade Rafael Devers to the San Francisco Giants, then the return has to start with Bryce Eldridge and either Birdsong or Roop. That's how it has to start. And if you make a trade like that, look, I can somehow get through and understand it, right? That opens up a spot for Roman Anthony when Abreu comes back. Eldridge is your long-term first baseman with 30 home run power, and Birdsong or Roop go right into your rotation. I could have at least somewhat bought into it. But this return, you're talking about two number five starters and middle relievers, right? That's what you basically get in Hicks and Harrison. You get a teenage pitcher who's got a big arm, but who knows if he can pitch, and he's 6 years away if he makes it. High risk, high return. I get it. And James Tibbs, who, look, I like, right? He went to Florida State. He's got a plus hit tool, plus power tool. Might be a platoon player, but he's not an all-star. He's not a silver slugger, not a gold glove. And you trade away a 28-year-old superstar? Wait a minute. This guy has 15 home runs. This guy's hit 30 more homers three different times in his career. He's a 3.8 WAR player. I don't care how you dice this thing up. He's a superstar player and worth the contract he's getting paid, by the way. And you're going to dump him and trade him because why? Because you didn't handle the offseason right when you signed Alex Bregman and you didn't talk to him? Like, and then you flew to see him and you were mad because he wouldn't play first base? Like, yeah, I don't understand this. And I don't understand how the Red Sox can keep doing this with their star players. I mean, obviously the Giants have won the trade deadline on June 15th. They get an A plus. Are you kidding me? Buster Posey is just showing everybody what the future in San Francisco is going to be like. He's got the pitching staff. He's second to the Mets in team ERA. He needed power. He needed a bat. He got Devers, and he didn't give up much to get him. Like, are you kidding me? And for the Red Sox, I just scratched my head. You didn't even shop the player. I talked to three GMs or text with three GMs this morning who texted me and said they never even called them. Like, are you kidding me? I don't know. I got to tell you guys, I'm just disgusted. I'm just disgusted.
Could a player ever do something, a player of that caliber, could ever do something so egregious in your clubhouse that you would then go ahead and say, you know what? We're just willing to get something back and dump your money. Is it possible that a player, or have you ever seen a player do something that egregious that it's just like, oh, in your terms, dump this player on another team?
Never a superstar player. Never. And it can't happen. This is egregious. And, look, the ego affects the progress of mankind. It always has. And ego got in the way here. And whether it's Craig Breslow's ego after Devers wanted to meet with Cora and John Henry and not him, or whether it's John Henry's ego upset that he's paying a guy $300 million that didn't want to run over and play first base. I mean, look, I don't know the reasons behind it. They have their own reasons. But no, this is unacceptable. The late Sparky Anderson, who was the manager of the Big Red Machine in the 70s, he took me aside when I was a rookie GM in Cincinnati. And he said, always remember one thing. The game is about the players. The game is about the superstar players. And work with them. They will help you win games. And I always did that in my career. And I understood it and I respected it. And I had to make tough decisions, right? Like I had to move Alfonso Soriano from second base to left field, and he didn't want to do it. He talked to me for 3 months, and he ended up hitting 40 homers and stealing 40 bases that year. And I had to move Tony Fernandez from shortstop to third base, and he wouldn't talk to me. And he moped around me because I had Barry Larkin at short. I couldn't put him there. But you know what? It didn't matter what he felt about me. I don't care. I don't care how he felt about the owner. You know what I cared about? I cared about what Barry Larkin thought about him. That's what was important to me. I cared about Ryan Zimmerman, how he felt about Soriano. Like, that's what mattered to me. And if those players are going to win, the players love Rafael Devers. He's their best player. I don't care if he hurt Breslow or Henry's feelings for not wanting to do something. Either you make the player do it, and if you're not going to make him do it, then you live with the consequences. But you certainly don't trade him for this return under any circumstances.
Jim, is it easier to trade a disgruntled player, disgruntled, I put in quotes, like Rafael Devers, or is it easier to trade like Aaron Savali, who we saw earlier this week, who wanted to trade and then he got dealt? Which one's easier? Because you talked about all the guys you've dealt over the years, but
for sure.
I mean, is it this big of a deal? Like, Rafi said no, so I'm just going to get rid of him because I'm the owner and that's what I have to do.
Yeah, you can't do that, right? I mean, Rafael Devers is way more important
than
John Henry.
And
that's just the way it is. And look, in Aaron Savali's case, he affected the culture. Devers doesn't affect the culture with the Red Sox. Savali did. I don't want to go to the bullpen. I'm on my free agent year. I'm not going to pitch in the bullpen. Trade me. And I don't want you to ruin my culture in Milwaukee. So the GM, Matt Arnold, a good friend of mine, I hired him in Cincinnati, says, okay, bye. See ya. Go enjoy the south side of Chicago, and we'll see how many teams line up to get you in free agency. Goodbye. Good luck. That's totally different than Rafael Devers, because Devers may not have liked to move to DH, and he may have struggled the first 2 weeks, but what did Rafael Devers do? He embraced it, and he raked, and he was their best hitter in the month of May, and the best hitter season for them. That's what he did. And the teammates like jump when you told him to jump, but he certainly performed for you, and he certainly helped you win baseball games. And I'm sorry if you didn't want to pay a DH that, but you paid David Ortiz that, right? The Yankees are paying Giancarlo Stanton that. And by the way, even if he did say yes to play first base for you, he wasn't going to be a good defender at first, like he wasn't good at third. His best role is the bat. You committed $300 million to him because of the bat. That's what you paid him for. So, look, if you're going to trade him, look, I'm okay trading anybody. Get the return. If you had gotten Aldridge back and you had got Birdsong back, I could have defended it. I could have at least given the argument and understand it. But now, no, I don't. Now, can the Red Sox pivot? Sure they can. Just like when the Yankees pivoted when they lost Juan Soto to the Mets. They can pivot this offseason. They've opened up a spot for Roman Anthony. That's good. They could use this money in the offseason to go get Pete Alonso, maybe sign Zach Allen. There are ways that they can turn this team around in the offseason. I don't like the way they handled it. I don't like the timing of the trade. I don't like the return. I think this is a total disaster. And I think this trade is as bad as the Mookie Betts trade, maybe worse.
It is summertime. We are in the thick of golf season. It's always golf season down in Florida, but we're in the thick of golf season across the country. And someone's looking to get a new club. That logo should say it all. PXG. What do they do?
Go get fitted. Mm-hmm. Go get fitted by one of their master fitters, professional fitters. I've done it. It's helped shave many strokes off my handicap. It is worth it. It's educational. You learn about not only clubs, you learn about shafts, you learn about grips, you learn about angles. They have all the numbers, all the setups that you need to help improve your handicap.
You feel like a VIP when you're there.
100%. They even helped my putting, which needed help.
Mm-hmm. They help your putting there. That's how cool it is. So schedule your fitting today, and for a limited time, you could save up to 20% on your entire order. Head over to pxg.com/foul. That's pxg.com/foul to save up to 20% on your entire order. pxg.com/foul. Restrictions apply. See site for details. The key for me on top of all of this is that you can't replace the bat or the money right now. If you want to play the PR game with your fan base in the offseason and say, hey, we got rid of this player, we had a problem, but we got this superstar instead, much easier case to make. You can't do that. They can trade for players at the deadline if they're in it like they are right now. But what do you think of the shock factor of them not waiting until the offseason, taking it so personally that they needed to do this right now when they just swept the Yankees? They won 5 in a row. They're a half game out of a playoff spot right now, and they just got rid of a top 10 bat in baseball. I mean, you know as well as I know, in addition to how GMs told you that they didn't get phone calls about this, as long as Devers was healthy and hitting like he is, a career year right now by OPS+, that would have been a tradable asset in the offseason. They so badly needed to do this right now. How much does that part of the equation bother you for a team that many thought could make the playoffs and make a run? They've got a Cy Young contender at the top of the rotation too.
It bothers me as much as the trade does, the timing does, and the fact that the trigger's so quick because you were worried it was going to leak out. Like you were so impressed that the Dallas Mavericks traded Luka Doncic to the Lakers because it didn't leak out. And that will end up being one of the worst trades in NBA history, right? But at least they got Anthony Davis back. It's not like they got nothing back. The Red Sox maybe got a platoon first baseman back as their best player in this. I mean, and to rush into it, huge mistake. You have to. With a player of this caliber, if you want to trade him, there's other teams that would have taken this contract. You have to pick up the phone. You have to call everyone before you make any trade and find out exactly what you can get for him. Even if it leaks out, it's not going to matter. It's not going to make a bit of difference. It just isn't. So the timing is terrible for a team that could have gotten to the postseason. The timing is terrible for the team, but it's also just the return that I just can't get past. So good for Buster Posey, right? I mean, good for Zach Manassian to be able to pull off this trade. They needed a bat. They're a postseason team. I'm not saying they're going to beat the Dodgers and win the division, but they're going to stay in the race all year. They needed that aircraft carrier. We all saw what Kyle Tucker did to the Cubs offense this year, right? They're the other team to beat in the Central. Devers has a chance to do that. Take the pressure off of Adames, right? This is going to help Matos get better. This is going to help this entire team. And if I'm the Giants, I don't know how they're going to handle it. I'm assuming they're going to say DH because I got Chapman coming back in a month to play third. Dominic Smith is hitting at first base. And Eldridge is coming, who's now going to be your first baseman. So you're going to end up with Eldridge and Devers, two left-handed 30-home run bats, something they haven't had since Barry Bonds wore the Giants uniform. This is a huge day if you're a San Francisco Giants fan. After all those years of trying to sign Aaron Judge and trying to sign Giancarlo Stanton and never being able to get that big free agent. They had Carlos Correa for 5 minutes before he flunked the physical, medical. And now Buster Posey finally did it. I'm thrilled for him, and I'm thrilled for Giants fans.
What about the Red Sox fans? You're talking Giants fans, and we get how happy they are, but this is Sale, Betts, now Devers. It's like every time somebody, oh no, woe is me. We're the poor Red Sox. We can't afford this person. Now, the one out of those three I really understand is Sale. He hadn't pitched in a while. They wanted to get some back for him. I get it, but they didn't have to trade Betts. They didn't have to let Bogaerts walk. They didn't have to trade Devers. They don't have to do these things. So I get the Giants, let's go, we're going to have these home run hitters. But for me, from the Red Sox side, wow. It's like, what are we doing if I'm a Red Sox fan?
Yeah, and AJ, let's play this out too, right? You're telling me when you get to July 31st with an hour to go in the deadline that Buster Posey won't give you Eldridge with an hour to go? Because think about, right now we have 5 baseball teams that are 9 games or more out of the playoffs. Only 5, right? Rockies, Pirates, Marlins, Nationals, and White Sox. They're the only 5 teams that literally today you could say are basically out of it, right? But they're still within distance, but they're out of it, right? Of those 5 teams, which one has Devers that they can trade to the Giants at the deadline? Nobody. 0. The best hitter that might get traded out of those 5 teams is Luis Robert Jr. So there's nobody. So if he goes to July 31st, you're telling me that the Red Sox can't get a better package if you wait to the deadline? And by the way, keep winning in the meantime? Like it makes no sense. Doesn't make common sense. It's not smart. Maybe they needed to get the money off the payroll to go sign the mid infielder they just did on their soccer team overseas, because I guess they just dropped $100 million on him. Maybe that's what this is about. I don't know. But it makes no sense baseball wise. You have to get a better return if you're going to trade a 28-year-old superstar who, by the way, is being paid market value. And there's only $250 left of the contract, and $7.5 million of that is deferred. So when you start looking at the net present value, it's even lower than that. He's probably a bargain in this day and age for what he brings to the table offensively. So again, I don't know what to say. I can't defend the trade by the Red Sox. That's my unfiltered take.
Hey everybody, be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.